how has this all gone through, through your eyes, basically? What's it been like, and what were just decisions that made that kind of led you to not being able to play?
Yeah, it's been really frustrating. Uh, it's been trash, honestly. You work so hard to get somewhere, and you something happens that's kind of out of your control, and obviously that's frustrating for me. But I think what I've understood, more than anything, is usually in the playoffs, the healthier team, wins. And there's a hell of a team. Boston's a great team, but obviously very frustrating for me and how I was playing at the time and how we were playing as a group. So it's been very frustrating. After the game, I mean, I really hurt, like, the play that's been out there. That's not the play that had happened. I hurt my hamstring in the second quarter on an ISO with Al Horford on the right wing, and then I got to the back. I could tell that. I mean, I went to the back earlier I got a chest X-ray because I landed on my back, hurt we were worried about my heart, and then I got my leg wrapped up in the ace bandage, and we did a bunch of treatment at halftime. I wasn't even in the halftime meeting. Came back out, tried to play. That play was just, I think you've seen that it was hurt, you know what I mean? But it's definitely not the play that had happened. So I knew when I came out, when Coach took me out in the third quarter, I had a good feeling that it was probably done. So it was, I went to the back before the fourth, and I just knew. I mean, they didn't really have to tell me. I could just tell that something was wrong. And then, next day they wanted the swelling to go down before I got the MRI. I got the MRI in the morning of Game 3. And I felt better the day of Game 3. I could barely walk the day after the game. And then Game 3, I, felt good. I was like, I had to call my agents that morning, like, hey, I feel good. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really don't care what you say. I'm going to try to play. And then there was obviously like an organization-wide meeting, with our front office, my agents, everybody. And I think they just, they did what their job is to protect me from myself and wouldn't allow me to play Game 3. And I understand the long-term, implications of, the chances of re-hurting, my hamstring. But, I just am very thankful for this organization for protecting me from myself. And it's obviously frustrating, but I know I'm going to, I know we're all going to work our ass off to be back where we were. And, so, it's definitely been frustrating, but it is what it is.
It was, to what degree had it still been bothering you from the original injury? I mean, do you view it as a re-injury or an aggravation? And what did it feel like in comparison to what you did the first time?
Yeah, well, it's not a re-aggravation. It's a whole new thing. Same hamstring, just different spot. So it's definitely frustrating. I mean, anybody who watched me play understood that I was never really 100% after hurting it the first time, dealing with that. But I wanted to be on the floor, wanted to play. We had, the 65-game rule obviously was a thing, but I wanted to play. You know what I mean? I want to play basketball. So our medical staff is the best in the league. They did an amazing job of monitoring, having constant conversations with me, doing around-the-clock treatment all the time, late nights, early mornings, all that stuff, to be able to play on a nightly basis. But I don't think it was a secret to anybody, what was going on with me the majority of the year. So that was frustrating. But, I'm just really proud of our group. We had an amazing year, and I think anything we proved that we weren't the team from the year before when I went down, it got really bad. I think we went 6-4 in the games that I was out. And then we, played our asses off 2 games against the best team in the NBA without me. And, we're in position to win both those games and just weren't able to close. So just really proud of our group for the fight that they had. But yeah, not a re-aggravation. It's a whole new thing.
Ty, what do you view as the next steps for you and this team after you go through 2 kind of building years and then immediately jump to the conference finals?
Yeah. I think just continuing to play with that chip on our shoulder. I think we're a roster full of guys with chips on our shoulder, and understand, like, we haven't arrived by any means. You know what I mean? We had a great year. Did something that I don't think anybody anticipated that we'd be capable of doing by making it to Eastern Conference Finals. But understanding, like, you still gotta have the chip on your shoulder. Now it's a whole new thing. Now we got to prove that this year wasn't a fluke and that we're capable of doing this. And I feel like that's how we played the majority of the year because we went to the in-season tournament championship and it was like, well, somebody had to get there. It's a fluke. It's this and that. And then we get to Eastern Conference Finals and it's the same thing. So I'm sure the narrative will be the same thing going into next year. And I think we relish in that. We love that. I think we're just going to continue to prove people wrong. We got a great group of guys that I'm looking forward to, having the majority of our guys back, if not, basically everybody. I'm excited to run it back with this group, and it's going to be a really exciting next year.
Hamstring thing, there's no concern with Team USA and that you should be cleared by then?
No concern. I think, the biggest things I got, 6 weeks till I have to report to camp. So, I'll be in Indy doing the majority of my, treatment, rehab, and stuff. So, 6 weeks is a pretty long time. I didn't have that ever during the year with the previous injury. So, there's no concern, and we'll be the organization will be sending medical staff with me the whole time. So, I don't really have concern.
To borrow a line from the 30 for 30, what if I told you media day your team would go to the in-season tournament finals, the Eastern Conference Finals? You personally would start the All-Star game in Indianapolis, be All-NBA. A lot of those accomplishments for individual and team perspective, could you put it into words?
Yeah, it's hard to put it into words, man. It was like obviously it's hard, it was only a day since the season ended, but it's hard to take the time to reflect. I think we all, as human beings, can do a better job of reflecting and understanding how great of lives we all live. And I think I'll take that time over the next few weeks to really reflect and process the year that this was. But I'm just really grateful, really thankful for everybody in my life and this organization and just the year we had, man. It was a lot of fun. When I got here, we were just a bunch of guys thrown together. We won like 25 games. It was a struggle. And then, we jumped to 35 this year, 47. The growth has been amazing to see. We're really, technically speaking, what are we in, the third year of a rebuild? You know what I mean? And we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's, amazing, So it means the world to do it with these guys because, we genuinely do have a group of guys that we do have a lot of love for each other and we do support each other, which I think in the professional sports world, that's not really a thing. You know what I mean? That's not, that's people kind of say in college is your last time really being with a real close knit group if you don't win a championship. You know what I mean? But what I will say is we got a great group of guys who really genuinely have a lot of love for each other. And I'm just really thankful that I've been here and been a part of building that culture here. And we're going to continue to do that and continue to do great things.
Rick said this morning that during exit interviews a year ago that the discussion was, how can this team get to the Eastern Conference Finals in 3 years? So you did it in one. Does that create more pressure or more opportunity to then maybe take that next step a little bit quicker?
I don't know if more pressure is the right word. For me personally, and I think, I don't have to ask the guys. I know that's how they feel as well. It creates you want to do it again. You know what I mean? And you obviously want the outcome to change. But I think we have a group of guys that are really motivated by negativity, motivated by being doubted. That's how a lot of us guys are motivated. So I'm really excited to go into this next year with, the Pacers make the Eastern Conference Finals. Can they do it again? They probably can't. They're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. That's exciting. That's exciting for our group. And I'm looking forward to having another year with this group of guys and this coaching staff, and continuing to raise the standard here. You know what I mean? I think for early 2010s with PG and Roy and those guys, this was the standard. And I don't want people they say don't take it for granted because you never know when you'll do it again, have that much success. I think that's fair. We shouldn't take it for granted, but we're trying to create that to be the standard here. We don't want this to be a feel good story that we had a good run. We're trying to create a standard here and uphold people to those standards. So, I'm looking forward to as a group just creating that culture here, and we've been doing that for 2-3 years, and we're going to continue to do that.
Ty, speaking of things Rick said this morning, he said the first step is to begin recruiting Pascal Siakam in earnest. And we've heard about your role in recruiting before. What do you envision your role being in that process this summer?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a big deal to bring Pascal back. Just a great addition to our team and an amazing player. So, I mean, he knows I'll be texting him nonstop, calling him nonstop. We all would love to have Pascal back, and that's definitely the plan. So, I can't speak for the man by any means, but I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure Pascal Siakam is in a Pacer uniform next year. And, I'm excited to, begin that recruiting process, I guess, but just to, have him as my teammate, for the foreseeable future, hopefully for the rest of his career. And hopefully I'll play him. So the rest of his career. But that's definitely the goal.
No, we've asked you some form of this question throughout the playoffs, but now that you get to stand back and look at it, what do you think just over the course of this run you learned about the player that you have to be and the team that you have to be to succeed in the playoffs? What did this first run through teach you now that you can stand back and look at it from at least a little bit of distance?
Yeah, I think for us as a group, I think was important in the all three series, just keeping our composure. Valuing the possession of the ball. I think being able to play the Knicks in my second playoff series meant a lot for just my psyche and moving forward, because they are an unbelievable rebounding team, and the way they rebound the ball offensively. The game 5, it was like, I don't even know how many offensive rebounds they had, but it was like that value of possession. Because when I think value of possession, I've always thought turning the ball over, taking care of the ball. But rebounds, I never really thought about until we played the Knicks. And I was like, well, that's gaining more possessions. That's like the same thing. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, is just understanding the, valuing the possession of the ball. Obviously, you can say closing games. Like, I think that's important. And obviously that's my role more times than not. How can I close the game the right way? Game 1 of this series is going to stay with me for a long time, because that's very uncharacteristic of me and this group. So that's frustrating, but I think that was a great learning lesson for me this whole playoffs. I learned a lot about myself and where I can be better, how I can be better, how the playoffs are different than the regular season, all those things. I look forward to continuing to learn in my career and just put in my toolbox for how I can get better as a player and how we can get better as a team.
How will you remember this kind of season as you make All-NBA for the first time and have the team success at by far the highest level you've had in the pros?
Yeah, I mean, this is the best season of my life. No question. Up until this point, though, I plan to have a lot more success in this uniform and this organization to have a lot more success. So, for me, I think it's an unbelievable year, and I think this is a year that a lot of people are going to remember for a long time. But I don't want this to be. Like I said, I don't want this to be just a feel-good story. We don't want this to be like a one-year thing. We got a standard that we want this to be the standard, and we got to prove that we can do that and uphold that.
We talked a little bit last year about the importance of physical development, of you getting bigger and stronger. I mean, how do you view that going into this offseason? How important is that to you? And also, how do you expect your sort of just physical development plan to change, because you're going to have to rehab off of this, and you have the Olympics coming up? How are you viewing all that as you started right now?
Yeah, just beginning to create a plan, what makes the most sense. Obviously, it's no secret that I got to get stronger. My body has to get stronger to uphold playing, hopefully 82, it's not even 82 anymore. I plan on making the playoffs 100 games. You know what I mean? How can I have my body be prepared for that? And that a lot of that comes with my strength development and those things. So, I think the great part is, or the thing about my hamstring is, like, you have to lift to get it stronger, but you also have to give it appropriate rest. I never got appropriate rest the whole year because we're in the middle of a season. So the balance of that can be tricky, but I'm excited because our medical staff and me have already began to, create our plan for the summer and what makes the most sense for that. I understand that that's a big part of my development. And I think in the NBA, it's interesting because it's like, it's always, who can you trade for to get better and this and that, and what can it take? But I do think there's like organic growth of all of us individually. You know what I mean? I think that's really the next step for us as a group. Is we got the pieces. We just organically, everybody's just gonna have to get better. And we're all young and we got a lot of time to do that. But we obviously want to do it quicker than expected. So everybody's got to have a good summer, and that starts with me. And I plan on it, and just getting ready for the Olympics, and then having my strength coach and trainer with me the whole time will be good for me. And I mean, it's the Olympics. Nobody's playing 40 minutes, so you know what I mean. Our minutes will be down. We got a great team. So with the minutes that I'll be playing, I'm sure I'll be able to lift like it's still summer. So that'll be good.